And I'll tell you one thing's been on my mind. This world we live in, well, it's yours and mine. Let's make it brighter while we got time. We are people that make it happen. You and me, just reach out and grab it. And I don't know what you've been told, but it's our time, yeah, it's our world. We're all people that make it happen. I see a difference, the day will come when all our troubles we've overcome. We climb the mountain just to see the sun. Ooh, transformation has just begun. We're all people that make it happen. You and me, just reach out and grab it. I don't know what you've been told, but it's our time, yeah, it's our world. We're all people that make it happen. Out and grab it. And I don't know what you've been told, but it's our time, yeah, it's our world. We're all people that make it happen. We are people, we're making it happen. Well, I don't know what you've been told, but it's our time, yeah, it's our world. Oh, let's make it happen.
And it is Thursday, and it is the morning brew. And Merlin is here with me again. Morning, Merlin.
Hi, I'm a Merlin.
And let me see who else we have. We have a good afternoon to a Mariel Bell, a Miss T who isn't feeling well. I hope you feel better soon, Miss T. Being sick stinks. Morning, Michaela and Draconith. We have... Who else do we have? We have a morning to a Mitch the Ripper and a Green Badger. A good afternoon to an Aracor, because he's across the pond as well. A Viking Sandwich Wench gets a good morning. And a good morning to my hubby. I saw him in there. I love you, hubby. Morning to Neilk. And I think... Oh, and a morning to Cali, because I remember saying hi to her. And an MC who made it before the news. So good morning, guys. Making sure, scrolling down, making sure I don't miss anything. Yep, didn't miss anybody. So I hope this Thursday has met you fairly well this morning. We do have some news to get to this morning. Good, bad, and different. We got 4 big stories and a couple of quick news bites that we're going to go into. Morning, Scott. Thanks for joining me. Every once in a while you pop in here.
Hi, Scott.
Yep, the first thing, most people probably figured this out last night, but last night I was on a live stream. Every Wednesday night I do that stream with Penina, where we try not to starve. So I sort of missed this on Twitter. Andy Warski's main channel got struck, which means for 90 days he cannot stream. And most of his revenue comes from his streaming. Morning, Fuckwad. So this presents a problem. Yesterday, he streamed on JF's channel, which is a French person's channel, and I can't remember the entire name. I know I could pronounce it if I saw it. But he said he was going to announce a secondary channel today from where he would be streaming and doing his show. So keep an eye out on Twitter for that, and please go show him your support. See how fast we can get it to 1,000 so he can turn on his super chat again and get that rolling. So that's it for our dear Andy this morning. Let me see what else. It is the 1st of March. And that means at 5:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Kennedy Space Station, a window will open for NASA to launch its most advanced weather satellite today. So those of you that want to watch that, please keep in mind that if you do Google NASA, you will get their main website. And I think they will be live streaming it. Today they're doing press conferences and stuff up until the launch. So that's going to be interesting. I think I want to watch that.
I'm not sure yet.
They do have a lot of interesting information about the new weather satellite. Let me see if I still have it pulled up. No, I don't. It seems like, you know, they keep advancing technology, which it usually tends to do. And my grandmother would often say, the more advanced they make technology, the more you cuss at it when it goes wrong.
That's wise advice right there.
That's my grandmother. I love her I loved her to absolute pieces and still do. Even though she's no longer with us and hasn't been for quite a few years. She was one hell of a person. And we have a Mezzo Dragon over on the Twitch side. Good morning, Mezzo. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, Mezzo Dragon.
So unless you have anything to add to this morning right now, we can go into the news.
You know what? I say we jump into the news with both feet.
With both feet. Alright, and as usual, we're going to start with the weather. So let's roll this segue intro and get right into it. Alright, as usual, we start out with the weather from the National Weather Service. And yes, I have to say
Hey, Laura
that.
Bones.
Morning, Laura, or good afternoon, Laura.
Oh,
how
sorry.
are you? That's alright.
Good afternoon, Laura.
Half the time, it amazes me that I remember where half of these people are from popping into the chat all the time. So I do have to say National Weather Service because I did look at their website and they said that we could use their content as long as I give them credit. So no, they're not being paid, but I do have to say that that's where it's coming from so I don't get in trouble with them. So, March 1st, 2018, very heavy snow over the Sierras, heavy snow over parts of the Northern Rockies, Great Basin, and the Shasta Trinity Mountains, heavy snow over parts of the Great Lakes into the Northeast, which you keep getting alerts for.
Oh yeah, last 3 days we've been nothing but alerts. We got wind warning advisories, we have flood warnings now, and of course storm warnings for tomorrow.
Oh wow. For those of you that don't know, Merlin is over there in New England, so he's bracing himself for what's going to be going on this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yes, MC.
That's what I get.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's what I get for living on the coast.
Yeah. I live over here in Georgia, and it's just, we were warming up, and then all of a sudden we had 3 days of, well, what the fuck happened to the thermostat? And then it started warming up again, and I'm like, I wouldn't be half as sick most of the time if the weather would just, figure out what it's going to do and just stay on course.
And Ronan Wolf, he's running from the storm now.
Oh, good.
Good luck, Ronan.
Yeah, try and stay ahead of it. A complicated storm over the Ohio Valley will move eastward off the northeast coast by Friday morning and deepen rapidly by Friday evening. The system will produce showers and thunderstorms over the Gulf Coast that will move off the southeast and Gulf Coast by late Thursday night. Showers and thunderstorms will linger over southern Florida onto Friday into Friday evening. Rain will also develop over middle Mississippi Valley, Ohio Valley, into the mid-Atlantic and parts of the southeast on Thursday. The rain will move eastward off the southern mid-Atlantic/southeast by Friday morning. In addition, rain will move into southern New England overnight Thursday, expanding into the coastal regions of Maine by Friday morning. The rain ends over the Maine coast while lingering over southern New England into northern mid-Atlantic coast by Friday evening. Snow will develop over northern Maine on Thursday, beginning to wane by Friday evening. Additionally, snow will develop over parts of upper Mississippi Valley on Thursday morning that will move into parts of the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley by Thursday evening. Overnight Thursday, the snow expands to central Appalachians and parts of the Northeast by Friday morning. The snow winds down over most of the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley by Friday evening, while lingering over the northern Appalachians into parts of northern mid-Atlantic. The snow will be heavy at times over the Ohio Valley or lower Great Lakes into parts of the Northeast Thursday afternoon into Friday morning. Meanwhile, a deep upper-level snow just off the Pacific Northwest coast will expand inland over the North Rockies, northern high plains into the Great Basin, Central California by Friday evening. The storm will produce rain and higher elevation snow over the Pacific Northwest into northern Central California on Tuesday morning, with snow and lower elevations rain expanding into the northern Rockies, Great Basin by Thursday evening. The rain will also expand into Southern California coast on Friday. Boy, yeah, drown California. Just miss all the shitlords, please. On Friday into Friday evening, the snow and coastal rain will continue over parts of the Pacific Northwest into northern Central California, into the northern Rockies, northern High Plains, and the Great Basin overnight. Thursday into Friday evening, the snow will be very heavy at times over the Sierras through Friday. So this is what it looks like. First I describe it, then I show it. Yes, I am here, so I am in the middle of all these thunderstorms. Yay.
Hi, Stargazer.
Morning, Stargazer. Here is all the rain, and here's the wintry mix going on up in here with snow in this region right over here. And you've got the little snowstorm over here over Pennsylvania and the like in New York. Before somebody goes, that's not Pennsylvania. And then we have some more snow and thunderstorms over here. You know, hopefully California, especially SoCal, will get plenty of precipitation so we don't hear them bitch about them being in a severe drought again.
You know they will bitch about something. I mean, they have no trees right now, so mudslides.
I know, right? Mesodragon. If only Zeus could do something about it. I know, Zeus right now is very nonplussed and just hanging out right now. Mm-hmm. And then we've got this wintry mix right over here. So, in terms of temperatures, we've got 90s over here, a mixture of 80s and 90s in Florida, moving up to the 80s and 70s all along the Gulf Coast here and on the East Coast, heading up into the 60s and 50s the further north we go, into the 40s and 30s at the tip of Maine. And all this purple stuff is like 20s and 30 degrees weather. And if it's any light in there, that's what I like to call don't go outside because it's too freaking cold.
That's right on my doorstep. Ugh, go away.
I know, right?
See, I have the tiny little dot that's right up right where New Massachusetts is. Oh, you can't even see it from here.
Yeah, the Rhode Island. Let's see if we can. If I clicked on the right spot. No, I didn't. I did not, but that's all right. Yeah, because this is all these 50s and 40s and 30s and all this stuff, and you're going to catch the brunt of it too. So,
yep.
Yeah, you're not going to be feeling too particularly well, unfortunately. Nope. All right, so on to our wonderful newscast. Let me open up the... And our first one, blip, blip. All right, what you're looking at is a picture of people who have resigned or have been fired. So I'm going to make that a little bit bigger while we read the story. All right, there we go. And it says, Hope Hicks is out. Here are all the casualties of the Trump administration so far. While the White House announced on Wednesday that Communications Director Hope Hicks... I don't know, it doesn't give me the weather in Alaska or Hawaii. I'd have to click somewhere else on the website. The White House announced on Wednesday that Communications Director Hope Hicks was resigning from the administration to explore new opportunities. Her announcement came on the heels of powerful White House staffer Rob Porter's resignation February 7th. The administration has been rocked by a series of high-profile exits, including Sean Spicer as press secretary and James Comey as FBI director, since President Donald Trump took office in January 2017. White House Communications Director Hope Hicks, one of Trump's closest confidants, who's been with him since the beginning, resigned one day after her testimony before the White House Intelligence Committee, where she reportedly said she told white lies for the president, but never lied about anything consequential related to the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. There are no words to adequately express my gratitude to President Trump, Hicks said in a statement. Let me see. I wish the president and his administration the very best as he continues to lead our country. Hope is outstanding and has done great work for the last 3 years, Trump said in a statement provided by the White House. She is as smart and thoughtful as they come, a truly great person. I will miss having her by my side, but when she approached me about pursuing other opportunities, I totally understood. I am sure we will work together again in the future. Comey isn't part of the administration. Nope, I agree, MC. He was one of those people that was openly biased against Trump.
Right from the start, too. As soon as he got in there, he was right off attacking Trump.
Yep. Well, let me see. Oh, Neil, you could use windy.com if you knew how to read pressure values to predict the weather for the day. See, I would have to study that, and that's... Yeah, it's a lot of people resigning, according to the picture over here. There's been about 18 people that have resigned since his inauguration and since he started being active in the presidency, which begs certain questions, and it does leave a lot of people scratching their heads. We know, I believe, why a couple of these people left, like Scaramucci and Spicer left. They were having a hard time trying to keep a press secretary for a while. In research stories, if you're interested. Ooh, we may have to follow it up with a blog post article.
Yeah, I'm working on one, by the way. I should have it posted soon.
Ooh, okay, we're going to have to get to that too. Google suspends Sargon. Google did it. This is just in from Mitch the Ripper. Yeah, this just in from Mitch the Ripper. Without warning, Google have suspended my account, which prevents me from logging into my YouTube account. And I clicked on something, and it did something really goofy. I didn't want it to do that.
I hate when that happens.
I know, right? Let me click on the link again, because I hate it.
Wow, Google's flexing their little muscle, aren't they?
I know, right? My YouTube channels had 0 strikes. The purge is here, he says. So, it says this is the screen cap. Let me see if I can switch this so you guys can see what I'm seeing here.
And can I say real quick? This is all prepared for the 2018 midterm. Google and the rest of social media is going to try to crack down on everyone that they can that's going to give them trouble.
All right, so here's the screen cap of what I'm seeing, so I'm going to read it to you guys. This is after I read the initial one. It says, hello, the Google account Sargon of Akkad 100@gmail.com was disabled because it looked like it was being used in a way that violated Google's policies. If you think this was a mistake, sign in and verify the disabled account as soon as possible. To reactivate your account, you should do this soon because disabled accounts are eventually deleted along with emails, contacts, photos, and other data stored with Google, the Google Accounts team. So this is what, and this, he posted it to his Facebook account. So, and there are plenty of comments, as there always is, when you post something like this. Yes, but Sargon's account has been disabled, suspended.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big one right there.
It is. Sargon is pretty big. A lot of people listen to Sargon. Let me see. Let me go back down to my
Hi,
Evernote.
Penina.
Hey, Penina. Scooch this back down.
I'm telling you, this is going to get a lot worse. That kind of scares me.
It does.
I mean,
It scares me too.
If you have a voice that goes anywhere near opposition, you're going to get struck down or boycotted or whatever.
And see, a lot of people laugh and they say that we're being paranoid, but when stuff like this pops up, it's hard not to be.
Yeah, look at the strikes that's been being passed out in the last week alone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's no conspiracy here. The thing is real.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's we all have reasons to be concerned if we don't, you know, fall along certain narratives and we don't agree with what most people would consider the consensus.
Right.
You know, and if I get thrown off, this is why I'm moving to Twitch. This is why I'm using, trying to find other streaming and upload channels, and to constantly have a place to do my live streams and upload my stuff to, because I know sooner or later, you know, they're going to be looking at me. And I don't think the way most people think, and neither do you, Merlin. Our news,
Nope.
our news stories do not, kiss ass. We don't brown nose. So
we have to tell the truth. We
Yeah.
have to tell the truth because no one else is.
Yeah, and that
so
makes
it's up
us
to our community to, our target.
Yep, that makes us unpopular in the eyes of the people who point out wrong think, so to speak.
Unpopular? No.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Neil, doesn't look like the usual flag-based takedown of an account. It's possible a new attack vector was found. I don't think Google would do this to his account on purpose, as it would be news. Well, it depends. If they're trying to cover it up.
All right. Penina just said Sargon's account is still up.
Huh. Okay. So you just checked it? Okay. It's
Okay.
a Google
It's
side
a Google
suspension.
side suspension, not a YouTube side.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you go to his YouTube channels, you'll still be able to see his YouTube channel, but he can't access it, which means he won't be able to do live streams or upload any kind of content to his channels because they're not allowing him access. Viking Sandwich Wench will be the first to go into the re-education camps.
Well, at least we'll be together.
Yeah. Didn't Google do the same to Jordan Peterson? You know,
I believe so.
I think so. I think they did the same kind of thing to Jordan. Isn't him making a new kind of like going... Well, no, he didn't make... He's always had the Sargon of account. That's his main account on Google proper. Not YouTube. Google proper. And from that, he created, I think, 3 different Sargon channels. One is called The Thinkery. One is called Sargon of Akkad. And there's a third one that he uses, I think, for gaming. That's not illegal. What goes against the YouTube TOS is if you get your main channel, if you only have one channel on YouTube, and that channel gets suspended and you terminated, and then you turn around and make another channel on YouTube, that's when it's against the TOS. That's the little thing that you have to go around. No, a 4th one, Ancient Readings. Oh, so he's got 4. Okay. Like me, he multitasks.
Which is a talent in itself.
Yeah. All right. You want to read the Trump story?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Trump threatens to delay border work in California, baffling many. President Donald Trump on Wednesday threatened to delay building border barriers in California until his long-promised border wall is built elsewhere. Quote, sections of the wall that California wants built now will not be built until the whole wall is approved, unquote. Trump declared in an early morning message on Twitter. His tweet his tweeted threat confused just about everyone involved in the fight over border protection. California state officials have fought vigorously against Trump's border wall project, his top priority as a presidential candidate, even going to court to try to block it, an effort that lost a round on Tuesday. Administration officials could not point to any change in policy, either proposals or executive actions to accompany Trump's tweet. Instead of a sudden policy shift, officials said privately the tweet seemed to reflect the president's continued anger at California officials over their resistance to the immigration policies. Border Patrol agents believe double fencing rather than a wall is sufficient in most areas because it helps protect agents from getting hit by rocks. He agreed that a solid wall makes sense in a handful of locations, including the Rio Grande Valley, where in 2014, around 68,000 illegals crossed the border. Along nearly 2,000 miles of the U.S.-Mexico border, each Border Patrol sector has identified which stretches of new or improved barriers should be priorities. This falls on the federal government and not on the state governments.
Yeah, Neil, I wonder if Trump does this just to confuse people.
I think so, because this is out of the blue.
I know, it is. Viking Sandwich went, what the fuck, we need a wall in California. Yeah, we do. We need a wall. The double fence, I can see the double fence because they say that it prevents rocks being thrown, but it doesn't perfect blah, 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 blah. Stop, rewind, edit, play. It doesn't prevent people from climbing over the fence to get in.
It prevents them from going through, though, because the way the poles are, from what I read in the article, it makes it hard for people to go through them. Or something like this, some sort of science from it. It's from Penina error.
Yeah, Ericor, we don't need a wall in Cali, we need a crowbar in the San Andreas Fault. Stargazer, so California fought the wall and now they want it first. I don't think it's that they want it first. It's that they're freaking confused about what he said. You're not going to get a wall until everybody else gets a wall.
In fact, if you click on an article and read it, it says that most of the state administration, California stuff are not even going to answer the question or not even going to approach it.
Yeah.
It's getting to the point where no one's treating Trump as the president.
Yeah. Just because he tweets what he tweets. And I can see in some cases why some people would take a look at his Twitter and say that the president needs his Twitter taken away from him. Because let's put it he does stick his foot in his mouth a lot on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Okay, he's not innocent of that. He's not innocent of, being the most. He is not the most. What is what I'm looking for? Professional.
Yeah,
person
professional
in office on Twitter.
Yeah.
So so I can see how some people would be like, well, no, we don't want him tweeting because he's a frickin' embarrassment. But then again, if you look at it yet another way from another angle, because of the way the press is treating him and taking his words out of context, it's the only way for him to get his words across the way he wants them conveyed.
Right.
So it's a double-edged sword because he's not the only one using his Twitter account.
Viking is saying that maybe this is reverse psychology. Wow, your bubbling tongue just made it into my mouth.
It's contagious. Holy shit.
But she says it's reverse psychology, maybe, which is possible, I guess, a tactic he's trying to use.
Yeah, Penina says liberals.
But to what end?
Yeah, I mean, how far is he going to go with this?
Right.
Because there has to be a time when you have to stop doing these little reverse psychology things and finally going, look, we really need to get down to business and all this pussyfooting and all these games have got to stop. Because
this falls into liberals' hands. The liberals should be rejoicing.
Yeah.
Because this is what they want. They don't want a wall. They want open borders. I don't know what's going on. Could be reverse psychology, but Penina was saying something about liberal.
Penina was saying that they were treating him as President Dunce since day one.
Yep.
Which I would be inclined to agree. And then you have, let me see, if you scroll down, we got Ericor going, I really need to move this so I can see the icons. Oh, I hate only having one screen. It's a pain. Trump, no wall for California entitled lefties. But they all have A wall. Now we want one and we want it first. MC, Trump is going to let California burn to the ground. Neil, we've had presidents like this before. It's just that Twitter exists now.
Yeah, he's really the first. Obama was the first YouTube president. Trump is being our first Twitter president.
Well, I mean, he knows that it's the only way to get his words, good, bad, or indifferent, out there without them being edited.
Right.
You know.
Oh, Erica says Twitter is just a distraction to distract the lunatics occupied with their bitching, while Trump gets on with the real work.
It works for me.
And Mitch says, if that's what California wants to burn, well, freedom of choice, I say.
Yep. Penina, Trump is the meme president. Now repeat after me. He is our shitlord in chief.
Yes, he is.
Lovingly so. Walmart and Dick's raised minimum age for gun buyers to 21. Two of the nation's leading gun sellers, Walmart and Dick's Sporting Goods, took steps on Wednesday to limit their sales of firearms, thrusting themselves into the middle of the polarizing national debate over gun control. Walmart, the biggest gun seller, announced that it would not sell any gun to anyone under 21 years of age. It also said it would no longer sell items resembling assault-style rifles, including toys and air guns.
Oh, jeez.
Dick's said it was immediately ending sales of all assault-style rifles in its stores. The retailer also said it would no longer sell high-capacity magazines, and would also require any gun buyer to be at least 21 regardless of local laws. Under federal law, a person must be 21 to buy a handgun from a firearms dealer, but 18-year-olds can buy semi-automatic rifles and other firearms. Since the Parkland, Florida school shooting 2 weeks ago, this has been the most significant actions taken on guns by corporate America. Both retailers said their decision were a response to the shooting. Walmart and Dick's acted after a series of stores moved last week to disassociate themselves from the NRA. Hertz, Car Rental, MetLife Insurance, and Delta Airlines, among others, publicly ended their relationships with the organization. In their news release late Wednesday, Walmart noted that in 2015 it discontinued the sale of high-powered rifles, including AR-15 style weapons, in its stores in the United States. But at that time, Walmart sidestepped any controversy involving gun politics, attributing its decision to lower customer demand for military-style rifles. Dick's decision was announced by Edward Stack, the 63-year-old chief executive, whose father founded the store in 1948. Mr. Stack made clear that he was deliberately steering his company directly into the storm over gun reform. This is not the first time that Dick's responded to a school massacre. In 2012, after a gunman killed 26 people at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, Dick's removed assault rifles from its main stores. But a few months later, the company began carrying the firearms at its outdoor and hunting retail chain Field & Stream. As of Wednesday morning, the company said AR-15 style and other semi-automatic rifles would no longer be sold in its 35 Field & Stream stores or on its website. And this time, Mr. Stack added, the changes will be permanent.
Ooh.
Hi, Ghost Dog. Good afternoon, Jason.
Hi, Ghost Dog.
Dick's thrust. Whoever wrote this has some repression issues. That would be Merlin. He wrote it.
Hey! Wow! It just houses me out like that. Thank you. Damn.
You are the co-host and editor. I have to pick on you every once in a while.
My repression is showing.
Viking Samish wench from the previous story. There are a lot of conservatives here in California. Oh. Y'all just never get to see that because they manipulate things the way they do. Don't forget, we voted against gay marriage.
Hey, Jason.
Hey.
I noticed you now, too, I guess.
Yep. Neil, isn't it interesting now how rifles are bad and handguns are okay because rifles are scary? Isn't that the same way they got handguns restricted to 21 plus and not rifles? Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Exactly. And another one, who said it about the age restrictions going to be challenged in court, which will be. Probably. Because that's a court case right there waiting to happen.
Oh, it is. It is. Dick's also refused to allow its employees to say Merry Christmas. Yay, she noticed me.
Hey, he gives you a like for that. Good job.
The AR-15 is a regular rifle with the word assault attached to it. As we said, assault is it's fucking verb. You assault
Yeah.
someone. You know.
There was actually an article which I probably should have put a link for because it was pretty interesting. How this lefty organization newspaper was discussing how the military style weapon at the M16 was just like the other weapons being sold today, which is totally a lie.
Yeah.
But they're winning the fight right now. That's the problem. Now they're starting to get some traction, which scares me.
Because they keep doing it on the backs of children.
Yep. And this time it's sticking.
I mean, and for those of us that pay attention to the news cycles and how fast things are forgotten, you know, after Las Vegas they were pushing for gun control, but the Las Vegas shooting faded into the ether. Now that it was 17 kids killed and 14 wounded, 15 wounded, now they're continuing to stand on the backs of these children and push for gun control more now than ever because it's kids in schools.
You know what that reminds me of? Every single time it brings me back to Sandy Hook and Obama sitting there with those little coffins around him while he's talking about politics.
Yeah.
That's what
he's
gets
not
me.
politicizing it when he is.
Right.
You know, it always gets me. And, you know, some people are like, well, you have to talk about it while the topic is hot and fresh in people's minds. And, you know, you have to talk. There's a difference between talking about a tragedy after it has happened.
Right.
There's
a completely politics.
Right. And pushing a political agenda when the bodies aren't even in the ground yet.
Right.
Okay. One is something that needs to be addressed. The other one can wait. The political agenda can wait.
And when you do the knee-jerk politics, then that's where we're in trouble. Just look at 9/11 with them pushing through the Patriot Act.
Yep. Let me see. Draconith Fire Soul. A tinfoil hat theory I heard is this happens every time something could make the Democrats look bad. Yeah, it seems to be. I think it's mainly in the timing, but that would mean that it's orchestrated in some part, and nobody really wants to think about that.
Right.
Scott McGinnis, why do liberals hate Trump so much to have him take all of our guns? They don't like Trump because they didn't want him in office. Simple. Ghost Dog, arms teachers or don't make school gun-free zones. Yeah, every school is a gun-free zone, and there have been lots of shootings in these gun-free zones. Morning, Sir Wolfie.
Hi, Sir Wolfie. I acknowledge you. I see you. Hi, Sir Wolfie.
Yeah. Why are there machine guns but no milled guns, Mitch? I don't know. Neil, quick. Everyone listen to these kids who are too young to buy a gun. They know all about guns.
Right. And because of this, also, liberals start pushing. Maybe we should have kids vote at the age of 16.
Yeah.
Because of this.
Right. Miss T, okay, if guns aren't being sold, people can't get them. Seriously, look at how well it's worked to get meth off the street.
That's true. Very true.
It's the time adage that's been repeated again and again. When guns are outlawed, only outlaws will have guns.
Right.
You know?
And that's how tyranny begins, is when they take the guns away first.
Yeah, and I think it was, what's the AR is Arclight? Stands for Arclight Rifle?
Something like that. It's the brand name. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Vote at 16, no guns or alcohol to 21. What?
What? Yeah. MC, same thing with bump stocks. Well, Dix has never carried bump stocks.
Right.
Yeah.
Armalite.
There it is.
Thanks, Mitch.
Armalite. I know it was close, but no cigar. Close, but no cigar. Thank you.
Thanks for God.
Let me put this in here for him. Deep. If you take the guns away, people are just going to find even more ways to get them illegally. Well, I mean, we're seeing in the EU right now, as they've outlawed, or it's virtually impossible in the UK to get a firearm. Because I don't want to say it's impossible and they can't get one. It's virtually improbable for someone in the UK to get a firearm. But that hasn't stopped acid attacks, trucks of peace, as we like to joke about, explosions and things like that. If people are intent on killing other people, they don't necessarily have to use guns to do it.
In China, as an example, they have strict gun control, and they use knives. London, they use, of course, the truck bombs, acid in the face. There's different ways, different weapons you can use to get somebody. So if you take away guns, they will find a way, because man hates man.
Yeah. Ooh, we have 21 people currently watching on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Hello, YouTube people watching this. And hello, Mezzo Dragon down there in the Twitch
Look at
side.
these comments.
I know.
Wow,
Neil,
you guys are awesome.
This is why I record them on the show. If there was a gun ban, then gun crime would go down, but violent crime wouldn't. People would just change the tools they use for crime, and victims might go up as they can't defend themselves.
Right.
Point. Michaela, personally, and I know I'm going to get a bunch of shit for this opinion, and I know it really happened for many reasons, looks at Mitch the Ripper. Also, there are other weapons. I mean, you take away the guns, people will use knives, vehicles. Neil, I think London has a ban on knives that can get you arrested for taking a kitchen knife on the street, hence the acid attacks.
There you go.
You know, the gun topic has always been a hot button issue. It doesn't matter if there has been a shooting or some sort of shoot-out situation.
Yep.
The gun topic is extremely polarized. You're either all in the leftist camp for gun control or you're all for the Second Amendment. And the gray area in between virtually does not exist.
And can I say, if we're going to have gun control, you're going to pull all the guns from us. Why not the police departments? Why not the military? What about the CIA covering the politicians? Take their guns away too. Take all guns away.
Yeah, I mean, and then we have
equality.
Scott. If we ban weapons, people can literally kill with their bare hands.
That's right.
So I mean, we will never be truly without a way to hurt another individual.
Right.
You know.
I record a car can kill many times more people than a gun, but these are far less regulated. Someone explain why.
Exactly. Let me see. Brexit treaty draft hints at EU strategy to keep UK close. European Union officials were fairly sure the draft Brexit deal they published on Wednesday would be unacceptable to Theresa May. That's because a large plank of their strategy is to be inflexible and to put so much pressure on the British government that it'll eventually decide to keep the UK as close to the EU as possible, according to 3 people familiar with the EU's thinking. For some EU decision makers, that means they still hope that when the UK sees how bad the deal on offer is, they'll opt to remain in the bloc, possibly through a second referendum after Parliament has voted the deal down. Others think this might happen when the UK has already departed and the country will stay in an endless transition period. It's why the bloc's 2 most important leaders, Jean-Claude Juncker and Donald Tusk, have both in recent weeks raised the prospect of the UK changing its mind or being let back in, what happened to the will of the people that voted to leave the EU. Among the options of keeping the UK in the EU sphere is to remain in the bloc's customs union, a position backed this week by Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn. A customs union is a distant second best to the single market for businesses, but at least soothes trade and would keep the Irish border visible. For now, the EU and the UK must agree on the precise wording of the text to give enough time for both sides to ratify it before Britain leaves on March 29th of 2019. Click the link down below for this story if you want to see what is in this deal.
I would suggest that you guys do that. Because it's very, the EU just does not want to let anyone go.
Well, I mean, we've got Jason Todd, who's from across the pond, that says, "Oh God, here goes the fucking EU again." You know, Ericor, let me see, and he goes, "Commie Corbyn, Americans in the chat, give me a gun."
But the people did vote to leave the EU.
Yeah.
And why isn't no one speaking on the behalf of the people? Once again, the people are getting screwed over.
Yeah. From what I understand from Jason and the Batman and others in the chat from the UK, Theresa May was not pro-Brexit.
Right.
And I believe a lot of them think that she's only doing this half-heartedly.
Oh, she is.
She's not fully committed to it.
No one is. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why we're getting stuff like this like this news story here.
Eric Crazy Corbin needs to never see elected office.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's when you see stories like this, it's like, okay, you have the people. Nope, Theresa May was a Ramoner, which is their nickname for a Remainer.
Okay.
Helicopter rides.
Can we toss Corbyn out of a helicopter?
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that didn't like Theresa May, but their Theresa May Corbyn choice was kind of like our Hillary and Trump choice. You had Dumb and Dumber.
Pretty much, yeah. Miss Seago's nightclub and the media pretending like it didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. Mariel Bell, the main players for Brexit jumped ship after the
breakfast.
Vote. Yeah, breakfast. Brexit jumped ship after the vote. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's just sad that when government that's supposed to be free, supposed to do the will of the people, fails time and time again. It's almost like Britain doesn't want people to be free. New hate speech laws that they have out there and everything else. It's almost like living in a totalitarian society. Yeah. I said a big word!
Oh my god. You said a big word.
I said a big word, guys!
To be honest, I would be surprised if Theresa May survives the next year as Prime Minister.
Why is she still Prime Minister? I thought her party was voted out. I don't understand British politics.
You know, I would like to have a coffee talk where we invite some of our UK friends.
That'd be cool.
So, you know, to get a good explanation as to how their voting process works, what the powers hold in the Parliament, and so on and so forth, that we can get a better understanding when we read these stories.
Yeah, that would be great, actually. Like a round table.
Yeah. Putin boasts intercept-proof nuclear weapons. Yeah, the dog doesn't like this story either. Hey, go lie down. We'll play.
Thanks, MC. Thank you for my cookie.
President Vladimir Putin, boy, all of a sudden I can't talk. Putin announced after weapons test, Russia has had weapons technology breakthrough, nuclear weapons that cannot be intercepted. The cruise missile, according to claims, can target aircraft carriers as well as coastal complexes. He boasts the high speed of the weapon and operational depth can make it immune to enemy intercept. Quote, I want to tell all who have fueled the arms race over the last 15 years, sought to win unilateral advantages over Russia, introduced unlawful sanctions aimed to contain our country's development. All what you wanted to impede with your politics have already happened. You have failed to contain Russia. This was one of the many statements Putin made in his State of the Nation speech. He's poised to win another 6-year term as president. I doubt anybody runs against him.
Yeah, true.
All right.
Or the Russian bots.
Right.
You want to read the next one?
Yeah.
23andMe! More accurate? Question mark. The fact that this company has been offering this service for years is not a surprise. But now, its technology can trace your DNA back to a total of 151 populations. 120 more than the previous service listed. It will also be able to tell you the strength of a match in the region as well. They have also made changes and upgraded the comprehensive data and relabeled some regions for better accuracy. Wow. Yep.
So they're doing what they can to make this a little more up to date and a little more accurate. Green Badger intercept proof, sure. And Ericor, because I am, giving attention to the dog so he won't bark. Quick, there's a naked Muppet assaulting that dog.
And the naked Muppet is Jeremy Corbyn.
I love my chat. Now you know why I love doing this show.
That's great. Really great. You guys are awesome.
Yep. All right, last story. Move over, Android. Here comes Flutter?
Flutter?
Flutter. In an attempt to make a better computing platform that will allow programmers to release apps on both iPhone and Android at the same time, it seems Google has a platform called Fuchsia. This platform, which they have not said is ready for launch, will level the playing field for computing experiences no matter the device or computer you use. It also aims to fix the fragmentation problems Android is constantly plagued with having. Fragmentation is the problem Android has had, which allows different devices to run different versions of the OS, which seems to be getting worse as newer OS versions are released. Flutter, an interface that has been mentioned in Fuchsia leaks, is supposed to allow programmers to release apps to both the iPhone iOS and Android at the same time. Because of it being mentioned, Flutter will be compatible with Fuchsia upon its release, but again, no release date appears to be in sight.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, Nook, by the way, says, is 23andMe the company being sued for adding false information into the reports about ethnic backgrounds? Or was that another company? And Farquaad answered, you are correct, sir.
Oh, well, okay. There we go.
There you go. Yeah.
Cool, it still costs $200. The iOS has the same fragmentation issue, except their older phones self-destruct. Let me see. Yeah, it's... I thought that was Ancestry.com. Unless Ancestry.com has a partnership with 23andMe. 23andMe will also lie and tell you you're part black if your name sounds too white and they think you might be racist. Oh, wow. Flutter sounds like a discount version of Twitter. It does! We were discussing this the other day when somebody was reading an article about the new, the new update OS for Android, and I'm like, what's with all the food names? Couldn't you come up with a name for an OS that isn't food? And here we have Fuchsia, which is hot pink, and Flutter. I don't care what people say in the live chat. Fuchsia's live pink is hot pink. It's a dark hot pink.
Mitch says, by the way, Flutter is Twitter with crippled wings.
Oh my goodness. Flutter is right-wing Twitter.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's see what else we've got in the... Oh, yep, we got shout-outs and stuff for the next segment, so let's go ahead and get that started, right?
Yep, let's do it.
Cool.
Let's do it to it.
And for all of you... What?
Nook says that, Android names all their OS versions after junk food. It's like Android secretly wants us all to get fat.
For all of you Whovians out there, Doctor Who channel, every doctor unites. Well, not every doctor, because a couple of them aren't with us anymore, but I digress. The Lost Dimension, Doctor Who. And I'm going to read a little bit more of what they have to say. The Lost Dimension, Doctor Who, The Lost Dimension is an epic event comprised of 8 chapters crossing over all 4 ongoing series, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th Doctor comics. The event will begin a new era for Titan's Doctor Who comics and will find the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th Doctor playing their part to battle the Void. The Void has always existed. No place, the silent realm, the lost dimension. But the Void is no longer empty. The Void is hungry and devouring our universe. Through time and space, now the 4 Doctors must join forces to save everything. And the release date, I believe, is at the end of the... I'm spoiling it for everybody. February... Yeah, because they have the release date, so I was trying to make sure that I got the first one. Book 1 in stores February 20th, and I guess every month 20th after that until they get done with the series. But February 20th is when the first Gothic novel drops. And for those of you in the live chat that don't know what that is, it is basically a very thick and fancy comic book. It's really cool.
Yep. That you pay a lot of money for.
Yeah, that you pay a lot of money for.
Dr. Steve! Aircore. If anybody hasn't seen Mitch's video, Mitch the Rippers,
right,
you need to.
Most definitely.
And Nook says Flutter sounds like communist Twitter because it can't take off. And there was one more here. Give me one little second. Okay. And Aircore, is it Flutter what snowflakes do as they fall to the earth?
Oh.
I love it.
Scott McGinnis, why can't the 4th Doctor be in it, Mitch the Ripper? He ran out of jelly babies. Second video, Drunken Uncle on 25 things. He did his own little list of 25 things that irritate him. This is the result. Yes. It is absolutely hilarious, done in typical Drunken Uncle style. Right. So it is pretty much a try not to laugh challenge where I fail every time because he always has me in stitches.
Oh, he is awesome. He makes me laugh every single time.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Next one is itsAlexClark. School Dances Terrify Me. This is another animator on YouTube who is having a hard time because of the algorithm. If you don't know who he is, please check out his channel. He's got some really good content. The dog just fell off the bed because he was trying to get me to pet him. Oh, yeah.
Poor puppy.
Yeah, poor puppy. He's alright, as you guys can see in the cam. Last video is for those of you who play League of Legends. Jeremy Gaming Curios has 9 huge feature changes coming to League of Legends. There is a long since defunct item getting added back into the fold, as well as other changes. And no, I'm not going to give you spoilers because A, I'm not that kind of person, and B, I forgot the name of the item already. So there is that. But, you know, if you want to check that out, there is the video, and all these links, as always, are below. And it's that time.
No, please, no, don't do this to me again.
Yeah, it's every day, man. We gotta do the cancer.
I can't handle the cancer.
I'm sorry, but we gotta do the cancer.
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man, but we gotta.
So what's the cancer today?
Here we go.
I'm not gonna stand here and listen to this baloney.
He won't, you know. He doesn't stand for baloney.
2 employees fired for racially insensitive Black History Month meal. Yeah, we're white, student group says. So yes, this is one of those cancerous articles. Well, hey,
man.
at least it's not everyday feminism. It could be worse. Alright, here we go. Updated. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Get ready. Get ready.
Updated
Set.
Monday, February 26, 2018 at 9:15 AM Eastern Standard Time. A student group advocating for minority and marginalized students at New York University has issued a statement clarifying what happened at the university last week following a controversial Black History Month meal at the school. On Sunday afternoon, the Governance Council of Minority and Marginalized Students at NYU released a statement on Twitter, saying the group was dismayed and disgusted by the information being spread about a Black History Month meal students had called out for being racist and stereotypical. The meal included ribs, collard greens, and mac and cheese, along with Kool-Aid and watermelon-flavored water.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
This is... Ow.
Yes.
Ow.
Mm-hmm.
Please continue.
In the statement, GCOMMS clarified that 2 Aramark employees who were fired by the food service provider as a result of the incident were a general manager and head cook, and that both were white. The student organization also said the supervisors attempted to place the blame on black cooks by saying that the cooks created the menu. GCOMMS said it was unacceptable that the blame be placed on those cooks, but also wrote that no student or student organization desired or demanded that the Aramark employees be fired. The statement also added that the students who inquired about the meal were lied to about who had made the meal and what could be done about it. The group also addressed criticism that students' problem with the meal showed that they were ashamed to eat soul food or that they were classist and too preoccupied with what white people might think of them.
Their food is good. Ribs, mac and cheese, collard greens. Come on.
I know,
That's
right?
good eat. Good eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The issue is that we attend an institution that constantly ignores the voices of black students and works based upon the preconceived stereotypes. The group wrote, adding that no black students were consulted about the menu. We understand the importance of soul food, as many of us are born and raised in the southern homes. However, we take issue when these decisions are made by white managers from a company that profits off of private prisons. GCOMMS wrote.
Ow. Ow.
Yeah.
My brain.
Finally, citing attacks on 2 students who had complained about the meal, GCOMMS blamed news outlets for manipulating the students' words to create speculation that black cooks were fired. It's a shame that students once again must do the labor of correcting a false narrative, the group wrote in the Twitter copy that accompanied the letter. However, we will not sit idly and allow this to happen.
It's food! People!
Yeah.
It is food!
It's food.
Who cares? It's good food!
Morning, Randy.
Ah!
Randy came in when I had switched from the British to the SJW voice. I mean, okay, being Cuban, I understand the whole soul food thing, because in the end, we eat things like oxtail, sweetbread, for those of you that don't know what that is, it's cow bread. Cow tongue, which I have never eaten in my life, because just the thought of something tasting me while I'm trying to eat it, it puts me off in the dish completely. Morning, Perseus. But, I mean, I like a good, you know, fried chicken, mashed potato, collard greens, hand over the corn and the cob.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. You know, I love a good rack of ribs, well prepared and well cooked. You know, smoked barbecue ribs. My God. You know.
Oh, yes.
You can't get any better when it's done right. You know.
Oh. Fall to pieces in your mouth. But yes.
Yeah. But then again, there are some soul food dishes like the beef tongue that I won't go near, and another one is chitlins, because once you realize, you know, I don't want to eat pig innards. I'm sorry, I know what's been through a pig colon, and I don't want anything to do with that at all.
Oh, man.
You know, whether you call it chitlins, like we do down here in the South, down here it's chitlins. Most people call it tripe. It's still innards, and therefore, no. You don't know. It's like everybody keeps trying to tell me that when it's prepared correctly, haggis tastes good, and just the word haggis puts me off on the dish. It's like, you couldn't have named it something else?
That name just startles me every single time. I
mean, the first half of the word haggis is like an old, crumply woman. And you're sitting here trying to make it, you know, I don't know, appetizing. It's not working for me. That doesn't work for me in the least. So that's it for the cancer, because it does go into an earlier thing where they were bitching about the Kool-Aid.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
it's Kool-Aid. Just drink it and shut up.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to say, because coming from a Cuban family, that one cultural gap that we had was, it wasn't until I got with my friends down south that I even knew what Kool-Aid was, because my parents had never made that stuff.
I was raised down south. I was raised down in Florida, and red Kool-Aid was a staple growing up. And we called it red Kool-Aid. I called it red Kool-Aid.
Yep.
It was a staple. And these kids who have never experienced life whatsoever, who's always been sheltered in this little bubble, I can't wait for the world to chew them up.
Oh, I know. Randy, if you do try and post too much too soon, it will put you in a small little timeout for a little bit.
Yep. You will be punished.
Yeah, if you wait for a couple of posts, you can go back to posting again. Live stream announcements, as always, until the numbers go up, even though we are a teeny tiny channel. The links for Suit's streaming channel and Sinatra's secondary streaming channel are listed in the live streaming events. He's probably past the cartoons by now. Tonka Saw is into his Kumite. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Numbed Skull is going to be hosting his great debate. Also at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you want to chill and not have a debate-type conversation, Reading Wren has Wrenilations. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, grab some peanuts and beer and head on over to Jason Brazeal's channel for Hellcats, a hangout he has Monday through Friday, or you can watch Penina Play on Twitch at the same time. You may have to flip a coin. Keep your eye out on Twitter to find out who the new host is for Lords of the Night tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as always, after Lords of the Night is done at 11:30 p.m., Minions of the Zoo hosts their night stream. So those are the live stream announcements. We don't have any new announcements for the Humble Bundle, however, because most of those haven't expired yet. I will be giving you the March specials on tomorrow's show, because every month they come out with a monthly bundle. So as soon as I know about that, I will report it on the show, which will probably be tomorrow morning. So, you farted, didn't you? Dog, I swear to God.
Chemical warfare at its finest.
Sometimes I wonder if there was a way for me to, like, have a dog-type suppository and soak it in, like, peppermint water and shove it up his ass if when he farted, that would help.
Dogs are the worst, too.
I know. Good afternoon, Gerbil.
It's always the silent ones that just get you.
You never hear them. You're always subject to them. Swear to God, we need to bottle them and ship them to wherever ISIS is.
Yeah, exactly. They're talking about chemical warfare. This is nice, safe.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. Gerbil, no, you didn't. You're here. We thank you.
Yep. Green Badger, do they still make Tang? I think Tang still exists somewhere.
It exists. I confirm it. It exists.
Another piece incoming? Okay.
Oh, man. I lost it on the cancer. It got to me today. It got to me today.
It got to me too. Oh my God. Yep. Here he goes. Uh-oh. Just in from Mitch the Ripper. Let's see what we've got over here as I pull it up. YouTube deploys alt-left smear machine to SPLC to censor content.
Oh.
Thank you for your $5 donation and get some more coffee. Alright, let me go over to Streamlabs to get the entire message because I can't see it.
Thank you, Ghost Dog.
Screen. Yes. Love you, dear. Thank you for the support. Let me see here. And as always, like he did, you can do Streamlabs. You can use the PayPal link to tip the stream. You can also become a patron. I am still going to be looking into Maker's Mark to see how well that goes and how that goes along. By the end of the year, I am planning on having everything, or all the live streams anyway, migrated over to Twitch. So be sure to follow me there. For the time being, yes, for the time being, as long as he wants to join and have fun with me on these shows, Merlin will be my co-host and co-editor and producer for the show.
Yay!
Yep.
That's me.
The full message is have a good day and get more coffee from Ghost Dog, who donated $5.
Awesome.
Yep. So thank you very much for that. Let me see what else it's got here. Southern Poverty Law Center is assisting YouTube in flagging content on the platform, an insider has reported. The SPLC is a body of unelected, unregulated, hard-left lawyers regularly criticized for labeling harmless conservative organizations as hate groups. The frog. The frog. Pepper the frog.
Turd Frog's gay. Turd Frog's gay.
Pepper the frog.
Turd Frog.
Right. Okay. The Montgomery-based nonprofit Smear Center has a $300 million endowment with companies like Apple and J.P. Morgan Chase giving millions since the election.
How many?
Since millions. $300 million endowment.
Oh my!
Since the election of Donald Trump. YouTube has implemented a Trusted Flaggers program and selected the SPLC as one of the over 100 non-government organizations, or NGOs, and government agencies to monitor content, a source told the Daily Caller. The SPLC and other selected agencies, like the Anti-Defamation League, patrol the platform seeking what they determine to be extremist content ranging from hate speech to terrorist recruitment videos. What ends up on the chopping block, demonetized, reported to police, or flagged, is up to the agencies YouTube has selected. A representative for Google, the parent company of YouTube, previously stated that all contractors signed confidentiality agreements. The Anti-Defamation League and the European organization No Hate Speech have gone public with their work for the Trusted Flaggers program. The majority of groups charged with flagging content are still unknown due to the confidentiality agreements. The SPLC, to monitoring content for acceptability, is likely to create concern in the fairness that conservatives receive on the platform. The self-appointed watchdog group has a pattern of smearing off run-of-the-mill conservative organizations, personalities as hate groups or propagators of general hate.
That's right.
So I am going to copy and paste this both in the Twitch and see if it'll let me paste it in the YouTube chat as well. That way people can see the rest of it.
Well, they are getting all the cancer organizations out on this.
They are. They are.
This is people. This is war. We're in a war right now.
Yeah.
This is a thing for survival, for the truth.
And free speech.
Yes. I can't push that hard enough. It's very important.
Yep.
These people mean business.
Yep. Mezzo Dragon. Time to get crabby. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. So who do we know that is rich as fuck and can fund the setup of a free version of YouTube? I have got no clue, Ericor.
And Randy says, time to bring back the good old-fashioned tar and feathering.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And on that note, my friends, don't forget to remove the invisible character at the end of the URL. Thank you, Neilk. And for those of you who are wondering and don't know who Neilk is, he is a programmer. I hear if you say a word after the link you paste in YT chat, the link doesn't break anymore. Okay. And so if he says remove those invisible characters, please do so you can get to the link and finish reading the article. And on that note, my friends, may your caffeine ever flow. May your coffee ever flow. May your caffeine be ever strong. And may you have a thoroughly terrific Thursday. Ciao.
Bye.